All right, Giants Nation. So it's been a while since I posted the video. I took a break. I've been interacting with our fellow fans and, having arguments and conversations, but I was surprised at the fact that we're now reverting back to the Malik Neighbors talk because I posted a video on the interview and I broke it down. And yeah, that's probably one of my most viewed videos. And the fact that it's trending again, I feel like I needed to mention it, but I really, really want to talk about Drake May. If you watch my videos, you know I do not like Buddy from Michigan. Like, I don't like JJ McCarthy. Like, I have no interest in JJ McCarthy. Some people have said that they can see a little bit of Daniel Jones in him too. And I'm like, hey, I'm not a fan of JJ McCarthy. And it's crazy because I like Drake May and JJ McCarthy was ranked ahead of Drake May, but I understand that Drake May was asked to throw the ball a lot more. And so that's why I prefer Drake May. And so I'm happy that Merrill is coming out and expressing his doubt about Drake May. I really hope that it drops his draft stock, but it won't. I really feel like he's probably gonna get drafted number 3. And then hopefully Minnesota jumps up in front of us and takes JJ McCarthy because if we draft this guy, I don't have a choice but to support him, but I won't like it. I didn't like the Daniel Jones pick either. I wanted to wait for Justin Herbert. And now I'm hearing that there's a quarterback in the draft that people are comparing to Justin Herbert. And for me, once I've seen the comparison a lot from a lot of professionals who obviously are paid to watch tape, they're watching more tape than me and you. They're watching more tape than your average YouTuber. They get paid to do this. There's so many of them comparing him to Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. There must be something there. And also, we've got Daboll, who coached Josh Allen, and there were doubts originally about Josh Allen. So what exactly is Merle's issue? Like, what is he saying about Drake May? Let's find out.
His processing. Now, I watch him function under pressures. I don't think I've yet to see him execute a pressure correctly. Sometimes when you see his head in that position and he doesn't acknowledge it and make the throw, like those are concerning. So when I talk about processing, there's not a lot of things that I'm like really confident about that he processes things well, especially pressures. He is completely erratic when it comes to throwing the football. I mean, it's a big concern. I mean, can you button those things up? Can you get a little better? Here's what my ultimate belief is from playing in this league, coaching, studying this league for nearly 40 years. You just don't correct that. It actually is magnified when you get to the National Football League. That is when it becomes more erratic. And it's on all throws. It's short, intermediate, long. Now, he'll do enough to dazzle you. And that's where people get fired when you do that. And there's just too much there that would I wouldn't give him a first-round grade.
Now, I think Merrill is crazy when he says that he wouldn't give Drake May a first-round grade because if you look at the entire college season, even at the start of the season, everybody already had Drake May as a first-round grade. I think he might be the only one that thinks that he is not a first-round grade. Now, I would love it if other teams in the NFL listened to Merrill and said, you know what, especially the Patriots in Washington, and they say, you know what, I think he's right. We shouldn't draft him at number 2 and 3. And hopefully Minnesota just stays put and says, hey, we got our guy at JJ McCarthy, and they don't jump up. But it's so unlikely. I think most people already have their thoughts on Drake May. He's either going to be quarterback 2 or he's going to be quarterback 3. I don't know if I see a situation where he's sitting at 6 and the Giants don't select him. That would be very weird because I understand we have Daniel Jones on the contract, but at the same time, you can still draft Drake May, who has a relationship with Eli Manning, what some of you guys are saying you're tired of the Eli Manning quarterbacks, but he's confident like Eli Manning too, kind of talks like him too. I didn't really see that with Daniel Jones in terms of the way he speaks. Like Eli's from Louisiana, so he's got a little country talk to him. So it's the same thing I'm hearing from Drake May. I like his confidence. He doesn't have to start right away. I think a lot of people think if we draft Drake May, he has to start right away, but you can ease him into a start. You still have to pay Daniel Jones, so if he's healthy, you would start him a few games, but if he stubs his toe or breaks a fingernail, then hey, maybe you shut him down for the season. You don't want that injury clause to kick in. And you also have Drew Lock. So if he's not ready to start, or if you're scared to start him, you give it till midseason and you start Drake May and just let him go out there and get coached up by Daboll. It's crazy that Merrill says that he's the type of quarterback to get a coach fired, but he's so young though. If I'm not mistaken, he's only 6 months older than JJ McCarthy. So I don't see a scenario where he's going to get Daboll fired. If Daboll gets fired, it's because he was already going to get fired. So I'm not worried about the quarterback whisperer getting fired because of a young QB. He's the quarterback whisperer for a reason. Obviously, didn't work with Daniel Jones last year, but Daniel Jones is who he is. You can't blame the entire thing on Daniel Jones just because he got paid. I think that's really what it came down to. He got paid, and you were expecting a guy that you didn't think was good to step up and carry a bad team on his back without Saquon Barkley, and it was just not going to happen. But I think Drake May obviously has more potential than Daniel Jones ever had. If you look back at when we drafted Daniel Jones and just, Daniel Jones's collegiate career. So Drake May, in my opinion, if he's there at 6, we have to take him. I want a wide receiver, but I think if you can get a quarterback that Daboll and Joe can mold into their QB1, and it's not JJ McCarthy, take him. I would hate to have JJ McCarthy at 6. I think while I wasn't making my video for a while, I kept seeing videos and conversations about Michael Penix at 6. What is wrong with you guys? Michael Penix has an injury history, and he doesn't really do much in the pocket. So you have to have a pocket one. And if that pocket breaks down, he's probably going to get hurt behind this Giants offensive line. I understand we worked on improving it, but he's coming from a really good situation to now a questionable situation with the Giants. And I know he hasn't been injured in 2 years, but you're playing with fire. Like, you can't draft this man 6, and you definitely should not draft JJ McCarthy 6 either. That doesn't make sense to me. But hey, I'm a Drake May guy, so I'm just biased. Also, I've been seeing scenarios where they have the Giants trading with the Patriots to get to pick 3, because that's where you would need to go to get Drake May, assuming that Daniels goes to Washington. A lot of Giants fans agree that they would draft Daniels or May if they were available, but I think most prefer Daniels. He is the Heisman winner, and I think most would say that he's the better quarterback of the two between Drake May and Daniels. So my only issue with trading up is I hate the fact that we have to give up so much assets. And you might say, well, even in this scenario here, giving up the 6th pick and the 47th pick and the 70th pick and 2024 first and a second rounder isn't that much. But I mean, it's even more than that. I mean, to me, it just, a better way would have been trading Benedict Barkley. So if I can go back in time and I can show Joe that he's going to the Eagles, I'm sure he would trade him, because I don't know, man. I really hate the Eagles, man. So I really wish we traded Saquon Barkley and just finished top 3 if the goal is really to get a new quarterback, because we really set ourselves back by keeping this man on the team and winning games with him. It was that bad. You're not winning games with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor without Barkley. They didn't win any games without him. They didn't play any without him. So I'm right.